Alright, people of the earth, welcome to Carthritis episode 2, Redefined. Surely I fucked up the name again, but yeah, here we are.
It's a staple.
Yeah. The reason we're calling this episode Redefined will be very convoluted, but become obvious at some point. I don't even think you guys know, right?
No, this is all news to me.
Yeah.
I didn't get the memo.
Prepare to get disappointed, guys.
Okay.
All right, so introductions are in order. So, starting with you, Chris Clark. What is the first game you bought?
I'm Zarkov, aka Clark, and all that jazz. The first game I ever bought, because the thing is, I got obviously all the Game Boy and SNES stuff I got bought for me.
Yeah.
Growing up, so I think thinking back, it might possibly be Resident Evil on the PlayStation 1. And I remember I bought it for £50 in a shop after saving up my pocket money.
Ouch.
So yeah, Resident Evil, great game.
That's a good game, yeah, sure. Yeah, me am Sargoth, and the first game I bought, I remember the same thing. I was saving pennies for ages, but I ended up just buying a game based on some advertisement found in the that came with the SNES. Do you guys remember this? The original,
What was that?
the original SNES had like a mini poster inside the package.
Yes, it did. I remember that. I had that. I used to look at that stuff.
Yeah, so it had like Super Tennis and I don't remember all the games, obviously, but it had
Metroid was on there as well.
Yeah. It had Zelda on there, and I thought, hey, that looks cool. So I just saved every penny and bought it on release day or some shit, very early on.
Good decision.
Yeah, my favorite game
High
ever.
quality game so far.
Yeah.
How old were you at that time?
10 or
Wow, yeah, okay.
probably 9 or 10. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty early in the game.
Yeah.
Mad prop to a 9-year-old Marius.
Cheers.
This is this is KVD. Like Clark, I had all my Nintendo stuff and early SNES stuff bought for me. And the first game I actually went out to buy myself was a Mario game. And it was actually Mario is missing, so that was kind of tragic.
Aye.
As a kid, I figured, yeah, it's a Mario game. It's a new Mario game. What could go wrong? Like, all the Mario games I ever played were great. And then it turned out to be not even not a platformer. So it was an educational game. But it was only in French.
Mad.
Adding insult to the injury, indeed. So yeah, it's a tragic story. I'm fairly sure that your purchase was better, Sargon.
Slightly, yeah.
All right, well, on that note, I'm Joe Reinreb, and I guess I will go on a little bit of an alternate route here, because I don't really know the first game that I bought, but I know the first game that I pre-ordered from, like, EB Games, or whatever it was called back then.
Oh, shit.
And I was like 13 or 14 at the time, and it was a PlayStation 1 game, and it was called WWF Warzone, and I know that people here aren't big wrestling fans, but holy crap, this game was awful. It was one of the worst games ever. I remember playing it like religiously as a kid, but I like really didn't like it. But I played it for like hours and hours, and then eventually I was just like, you know what? I'm not going to spend my time on a garbage game anymore. But it was like $50, and I remember saying to myself, I'm never pre-ordering a game ever again based off of this one experience.
But aren't most wrestling games awful?
They can be, but the PS1 games were bad. The N64 games are fantastic.
No, I remember SmackDown on the PS1 was a really good game.
Yeah, okay, well, those are all right, but Warzone was like a totally different manufacturer. I think it was a Claim game or something like that, and it was just brutal. The mechanics were so bad. It was like a mix between like Mortal Kombat, like button combinations and stuff, so it was just absolutely brutal.
I can relate to that story though, Joe. Like, you invested your money in that thing, so you kind of wanted
to make your money's worth.
Yeah. So I did the same with Mario Missing. I actually
Right.
ended up getting a French dictionary to try and answer the question. That's how far I went.
Man, imagine how much more pissed off I'd be if it was actually in French instead of English. I probably would have thrown that game out the window.
Exactly.
That's such a good story, Carol. I need to hear more about this someday. But we have to get on to our guest for today. Be my guest and introduce yourself. Oh, that pun. Ouch.
So, I am Guillermo Arantes.
Guillermo Arantes.
Firewaster. from Brazil, and I don't exactly remember what was the first game I bought, but I think it was probably Mario RPG with allowance money. So it wasn't a miss as Joe and David is. It was actually a
Yeah,
very
that's
good
actually a
game.
good game. You should be proud of that
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
I guess me and Zarkov are winners here.
I think I won.
And Zarkov.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Zarkov won
Wieners?
that one.
What did you say there? Wieners or winners?
Well,
It depends.
It's not mutually exclusive.
that's
Yeah.
true. This is
Both.
true. All right. Those are the introductions. Let's move on and let's try to make it somewhat chronological. We have some news regarding the championat, but it's a bit different this time. Carol, you want to take this one?
Yeah, sure. I am thinking that you're referring to the FFSMK Twitch
Yep.
restreams of classic matches.
Yes, indeed. Yeah.
So Scoop, who was in the startup episode with us, episode 0, and obviously the SMK World Champion, took the initiative to try and get some hype in for the World Championships next month. And we actually had the idea to restream classic matches from the past live on the FSMK Twitch channel with some redone commentary. And the idea is that we will have a switching team of hosts. So typically that would be 2 co-commentators at the same time. And the first time Joe and me did it, and I think we had a blast, Joe, didn't we?
Yeah, I had a great time. I was actually kind of nervous about it, but once it started to get the ball rolling, I think it turned out really well.
Yeah, it's really fun listening to it, actually. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I gotta say, I didn't manage to catch it live, but I heard some, I think it was yesterday, and that was good. Very good job, guys. I enjoyed that much more than I thought I would.
The match selection helps too, because there were some crazy finishes there, and you guys did a great job. It was awesome.
I think it helps when I was going in blind because I didn't know the results, so
Yeah,
I was pretty
yeah.
much calling it live.
Yeah, that helps.
Yeah, same here. So I've been at all those CDMs, but I've watched so many matches that I just don't remember anything, pretty much.
Yeah, your
So it
memory
was
is kind of
cool,
just too bland. You don't know which match
Exactly,
you were watching
exactly.
anymore.
And also, I should add, we had some nice activity in chat. Dan was there most of the time, and one of the other goals of this endeavor is to try and get FFSMK. What's the name here on Twitch?
Twitch affiliate.
Affiliate, right? I can never get that word, but yeah. And I think we'll have other hosts in the future doing commentary. Like it could be me or Joe again, but it could also be Sargoth or Clark.
Yeah, I'd love to try that one day. That'd be fun.
Yeah, as soon as I have time, I'll definitely do it, since that will be what I'm doing for the championat this year.
Nice, yeah. Get warmed
Exactly.
Get a bit of practice in.
So we had, let's see, the match race. What was the first match we had again? Do you remember, Joe? 3 matches we did.
Maul versus Salim.
Maul,
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was also a Clark and
Oh, Narnet.
Narnet.
Narnet, yeah. I kept calling him
Narnet.
Narnet because I thought he was French. So that was my mistake there.
I think both of them work.
Okay.
And then we had finally the match race semi-final of 2012 between Connor and Jo. It was surprisingly good as well.
That was very good. Very
Yeah.
good. Connor, very impressive. I kept kind of saying during the stream, like, I didn't expect to see that kind of performance from a 15-year-old at a second CDM.
That's pretty nuts, indeed.
It's kind of a match race master, isn't he, Connor? I mean, he specializes mostly on match race.
Yeah, and I remember watching that in 2012, and I'm like, okay, we're all screwed. 2 years from now, this guy's winning the entire thing, but that didn't never happen. So that's kind of
Peaked early, didn't he? It's all been...
yeah.
The competition
He might still win one day, though.
Yeah, for sure. When we've all retired and grown old and we can't move our hands anymore because of arthritis.
Yeah, a couple of those things have happened already, Clark.
Or Cartman, yeah.
Yeah. So we have grown old, we have developed arthritis, and we have retired, all of us, many times.
Yeah.
Well, our guest certainly
One's
holds the
more
record
than
for that one.
No,
I was actually playing a few days ago, and my thumb hurt within about 20 minutes. of
Oh,
playing.
yes.
Yeah, just like, what is this? My
So this
bones
is
hurt.
further news in the breaking news story.
Oh, yes, let's go back to the very titillating news about Clark.
Oh right, yeah, okay. So following on from me managing to get it down from the loft and then actually getting it set up.
Yeah.
I actually managed in the past week to actually play some Mario Kart, and it's been promising. I hit a second place overall in Mushroom Cup. I was quite happy with that.
Okay.
The old fish.
But actually, like I always sort of try in my head whenever I go to the CDM to sort of have a mini goal, and it's usually sort of trying to get into the last 16 or something. But this time, I'd like to. Being time trial being my shittest mode, I think I'd love to see if I can get through to the last 16 as time trial. So I've been playing some time trial. I've learned that I hate Choco Island 1 more than anything else. No, sorry, Choco Island 2 more than anything else in the world. And then I quite like everything else. But yeah, I got 1:30.08 on a one try on Rainbow Road, which like legit I was well surprised at. I was like, what on earth is going on? Which would have been, if you're going on sort of last year's performances, would have been 5th. So I'm like, wow, okay, I'll take that. That'll be the only time I get anywhere near a top 10 in anything in my life. But yeah, so yeah, big news from my SNES is that it's actually on and it works, and I'm playing it. So I might not actually totally suck when it comes to the CDM.
Right, but now you need like a 3-week break to recover your thumb, right?
Yes, because it hurts.
Yeah.
Yeah, big news, mate. Big news.
Yeah, glad to hear the developments there, Clark. Certainly.
No worries.
All right. Next up, do we have any more SMK topics?
Oh, we have some more, but maybe later.
Sure, we can do that. Then we're on to the. We have some MK64 stuff, so let's. Guilherme, you have the scoop on this one.
Okay, so yesterday, Back Ebony, aka Ebony317 on Twitch, he hit the All Cup world record with skips, which was already his world record, but he lowered it by 10 seconds. And it was like, he was on fire yesterday. He had a failed run, a couple of runs before the world record, that he had a like crazy Mushroom Cup. He was like minus 18 seconds or something like that. And then on his world record run, he was also very, very strong at the start. I think he beat the Mushroom Cup world record on all cups attempts. And in the end, he had a couple of safe strats when he saw that he was on a very strong pace. But it's still a very impressive world record. Every time you get a 10-second world record in a game like as complex as Mario Kart 64 with so many skips, I think it's quite a feat.
So you said he had an 18-second lead after the Mushroom Cup?
Yeah.
How is he able to save so much time? Because that's, at this point, you'd think that it'd be kind of not optimized, but pretty close to similar runs from the past.
Yeah, the thing is, on Calimari Desert, there are a couple of good, like the God Strat, which saves 10 to 12 seconds compared to other strats. So you need to get a triple red shells and a star, because there's a skip you can do on the tunnel on Calimari Desert, and there's also a couple of skips you can do using red shells. So he had like for the first part of the run, he had like crazy RNG. It was like ridiculous. He got 2 mushrooms on Copper Trooper Beach, which is kind of rare. So overall, he got very good RNG in the beginning. When that happens, you get like minus 18 seconds on the first 4 tracks.
I think it's also worth noting that he has the current world record is now 25 minutes and 36 seconds, and the second best ranked player is Matthias at 27 minutes 6 seconds.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's like a huge.
It's a big gap, yeah.
He's basically competing against himself only.
So let me guess. Whenever you are competing with yourself, there's always this other thing. We call it barriers, whatever. So I guess he gets a lot of stuff. Can you go sub 25? Is that the thing?
Probably.
I think I've seen that in chat every time I've been to his channel.
I'm not sure. I guess it's possible, but I'm not sure.
I guess that's the it's coming home for Ebony fans.
Yeah, something like that. But the most impressive thing of watching him play skips is that aside from RNG, he messes up like very rarely. You don't
Yeah,
see him make many mistakes. It's like
he is
he's
super
very
impressive in
clutch,
GP.
Yeah, yeah.
very precise. It's kind of ridiculous, to be honest.
Can I give a shout out to his stream as well? It's a very entertaining stream to watch him play MK64 like that.
Absolutely.
Did you mention the stream name, Guilherme?
Yeah, it's Ebony 317.
317.
And he said that it's 317 because those were like his 3 favorite numbers as a kid in a row. So
I was gonna say it was
not
the.
like-
I was gonna say it was the verse after 316.
Oh, yeah.
It's not very thoughtful. He just came up with it. Like, oh, my favorite number is okay.
All right. My
Pretty
next.
sure he is the most popular Twitch channel of all the Mario Kart players.
Yeah, I think so.
Actually.
Yeah, I guess so. He hovers around like 2,000
And deserved.
watchers.
Deserved, I would say.
Yeah, I think he averages about 600 viewers per stream.
Yeah, so he gets more viewers than even the Mario Kart Championships, SMK, MK64, everything.
Yep.
It just
So,
runs out.
talking about the kart championships and Ebony, I got some news that ties into that. If we can talk about that now. The Virginia meeting, which is happening at the end of this month, July 30th. And of course, we just had the MK64 Euro meet. And this would be its American counterpart. And probably all of us here will agree that Matthias is the best overall at MK64, who won the Euros.
Yeah.
But
Sure, yeah.
what this meeting has going for it is that you don't know in advance who's going to win. And I think it's going to be very interesting just because of that. And actually, some of the guys there could probably give Matthias a run for his money, even beat him, if a rematch would ever happen. So Matthias is not going there, but there are 3 top 10 players that are going. So Dan Burbank, we've got Beck Abney, we've got former SMK champion Jamie White.
Wow, nice. Didn't know Jamie was going.
Yeah.
Oh,
And-
so Matthias is flying?
No, he won't be.
No.
No, he's not going to
Oh,
be there.
okay.
I think he was there last year or 2 years ago, but he has been there before, that's for sure. But this year he is not going to come. Also on the list is Frankie Morgan, who recently became the first player to ever go sub 3 on Choco Island Flap with the Weather Tanko.
Oh yeah, 298 boys.
We have Josh Lane, Mark Jones, Nate Stinson, Trent Hovis, and Gamer Weatherton, the MK64 Tesser, and also the host of the meet, I believe.
Yes.
So something to look forward to.
Lineup stacked.
I think it's going to be really, really cool, actually. Yeah. And personally, I'm also quite curious whether Ace will be there to defend his GoldenEye title from last year.
I was going to mention that they play GoldenEye as well at a very high level. It's
Yeah.
not just a purely MK64 event.
I think it's more of a GoldenEye meet, if anything, but yeah.
I think it pretty much started to be like 50-50, but I could be wrong about that.
I think the start was GoldenEye, and then it quickly became 50-50. But whatever, yeah.
Okay.
I
So
gotta
then-
give my unpopular opinion here, but I don't enjoy watching GoldenEye multiplayer as much as I do watching MK64. It seems like very repetitive. It's the same thing over and over again. So I watch it for the MK64 part, not the GoldenEye part, to be honest.
The thing is, I do actually enjoy watching GoldenEye at the very highest level. But as soon as there's a level discrepancy, it's very uninteresting. Or if both players are sort of not good.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I love watching GoldenEye speedruns and stuff, but with multiplayer, it doesn't click for me to watch. I love playing it, but when I watch it, it looks like it's kind of dull. But anyway, there's still MK64 to enjoy.
I think I think GoldenEye, I do enjoy watching the individual levels because obviously the grind is serious. Like everything really matters. Every single movement is pretty much, calculated. But what kind of really, I don't know, dissuades me from watching a lot is a lot of the levels you have to look straight down, and that's not really conducive for viewers. I understand why they have to do it, but watching somebody, like waltz around Egypt and just like look up and then shoot them, like look straight back down again. It's, I don't know, it's not exactly entertaining for me, but it's I understand why you have to do it at the same time.
Yeah.
Perhaps I should say why you have to do it, because I don't know.
Go on.
Yeah, for people who aren't aware, GoldenEye, basically you want to limit all the lag time in the game. So if you look down, the game renders faster, so you're not seeing background displays pop up. And so basically you're treating it like you save, I don't know, probably about a second on a long enough level. just by looking down.
And
That makes
one
so
thing
much
I love
sense.
about GoldenEye competition is that it's been very active and very competitive for a long, long time. So the top guys, they are always like switching places and coming up with world records. So it's the competition itself never gets boring. There's always something spectacular happening.
Yeah, I think their leaderboards are. I like the way that they have the point system. I guess kind of developed over the years. It makes a lot of sense, and I actually kind of prefer that over our average finish rankings. I guess because it kind of motivates you to push yourself past a certain time as opposed to just being happy with a certain time.
Yeah, and especially
you compete a
also.
lot more against yourself.
Yes.
Yeah, but I think the point system is also because GoldenEye has times rounded to a full second, so you'll get a lot of ties typically. So that's why
Yeah.
average finish doesn't work at all.
Right. Because otherwise, if you have the same time as somebody else, it's. I mean, you have it, but like the way that they kind of have it broken down, where if multiple people have the same time, then the next worst time is ranked worse. But yeah, I mean, essentially, it makes kind of the similar sense as average finish if you think about it. But
Yeah, but if you have
Right.
53 on them, you don't get 140th rank,
no,
even if you're 1 second off.
right, that's true.
I wanted to just shout out one GoldenEye thing. Would the game change dramatically if there somehow was a way to hack your game to show 2 points after the decimal?
I don't know. I mean, they do have runs on emulators where they know what can save time here and there, but I don't know.
No, I mean if the rankings actually showed 52.99 or whatever.
You mean like
I think
down
it
to the
would be
frame?
Completely
Yeah.
different. It would be completely different, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't think they would want to do that, but I could see where you're coming from. Like, one time is actually better than another time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how most competition works.
Right. Yeah, makes sense.
Because if I'm not mistaken, it takes like 2.5 boosts when you get shot on the back and you go forward. It takes like 2.5 boosts to make up for 1 full second of speed save. So it's kind of a big deal. So when you have a run, you can have a run with 2 less boosts and with the same chrono. So adding another decimal there, I think it would be like a big game to change everything, to be honest.
Sure, but for better or worse.
For better or worse, yeah.
All right.
Goose had a video about that actually, arguing that it would be for worse because they're so used to it now, and it motivates people to grind like beyond the point of just getting the 2 boosts. You need the 3.
Yeah, yeah. I like the Dan 52, like we mentioned in one of the previous episodes. Like that's a time that it's high in the 52s, like probably 52.9 something.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think anybody. I shouldn't say this because it's super early in the game, but I don't think anybody else is going to try to get 52 because that just takes so much effort. And I think if you broke it down to the millisecond, I think it would discourage a lot of people from playing because 53 is a great time already. And if you're going to try to scrutinize between one 53 and another 53, that would just open up a can of worms. I don't think they really would want to do.
No.
And to be honest, they love their untied records. So it would be way less important, way less impactful to have a
Also true, yeah.
record,
So
if not an untied record. So
the Carl Jobs thing last year, they already had the 2 crazy untied records. Would have been much less hype.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Precise record.
But you have a lot more untied records with the addition of decimals. But yeah, it wouldn't be as
much
hype
like
because it'd be easier to get that way.
Yeah, I mean, other games don't usually have untied as a hype word.
Yeah, that's true.
True that.
All right, so moving on, I guess. Also, if we could somehow edit this, I would really like to get my joke that I missed out on back into the Abney topic, which was
Interactive book.
his Twitch stream name was Abney317 because those were his 3 favorite numbers.
Yeah.
I think my next Twitch name is gonna be like Sargoth and purple, black, orange because those are my 3 favorite colors. Does that make sense?
Yeah, don't edit that one back in.
Yeah. We'll leave it on.
All right.
Reminds me of a Seinfeld joke with George and the jerk store remark.
Oh yeah, the comeback.
Yeah, the comeback. That's the one. Anyway.
All right. I got that out of the way, off my chest. So, or my 3 favorite
No,
dishes,
We'll decide whether or not that makes the cut.
Shit, I should have kept my mouth shut, huh? Next up.
Lesson learned, man.
Yeah, no more jokes. Okay.
Yeah, this is serious business we're at here. We can't start cracking jokes left and right.
Serious space. Okay. So last week we had a guest on the show and we talked a bit about the Carter contest. The results are in. Do you want someone know the top 4? We could just go through that.
Yeah. Top 4. You had 4th place was Shock, I believe. Andy Lundin.
Mhm.
Third place. No, he wasn't. He was 3rd place. Dan Burbank was 4th. Shock. Andy Lundin was 3rd. Etch in the meme. Style now.
Feels so
Runner-up.
bad for him, man. Come on.
4th time runner-up.
It's crazy.
Yeah, and then the winner was
like
Goomba.
the Netherlands of the Carter contest.
yeah. Funnily enough, Holland did actually win the whole thing though with Mike Coburn, aka Goomba, winning it. Yeah,
So many
which also
Americans
means-
made the top 8, but oops, no.
Yeah,
Can't,
well, it
can't
also
go
means
we can bring it home.
no, you couldn't, man. It stayed in Europe for like the 4th time in a row. But yeah, so at least the Carter's contest is staying in its rightful home of Northern Europe, which is great.
Right.
As opposed to Southern Europe. Does that
Well,
really matter?
who wants to
Let's
associate
not.
with Southern Europe?
Let's not. And big congrats to Goomba for pulling it off. Let's not get into a, to a
Avoid
north,
that one like a
south.
plague.
Fair enough.
Oh shit!
So big congrats to him.
Yes, that's
Yep.
that's
Very
what.
proud of my Dutch boy.
It's actually quite impressive too, because I think his first eligible Carter contest was 2016, and I think he lost in the round of 64, and then he shot straight to the top within 2 years, which is pretty remarkable, if you ask me.
Well, he did the same as Mick did. Mick Smolin. He
Yeah.
did the same. Like he was last 64 one year and then won it the 2 years. Well, the next one afterwards.
So you guys know what he did as a celebration of winning the Carter contest?
Oh yeah,
No.
oh yeah. Tell us about it.
Yeah. Well, he launched a quick MKDD stream, and within the hour, he got 2 world records, including one at first try.
Jesus.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I was watching this. It was just called Carter Contest Celebratory Stream, and he was just interacting with the stream chat and playing some what's it called, Sherbert Land or something.
And destroying world records.
Yeah, he got the flap and he was sort of surprised, but oh, okay, I guess I got the world record. Should play another track now. So he
Are
switched.
these his own world records he's beating?
Yeah.
I mean, I imagine they would be.
Yeah, mostly.
He's got, like,
Yeah.
Most of them.
Yeah. So he got the Sherbert
Wow.
Land flap, and then he changed to Mushroom City.
Yep, that's correct.
Yeah, and on the first try, he got a new world record. So, how do you top that? On the 3 lap, no less.
Yeah. He's the reincarnation of Michael Jongerius, pretty much.
Yeah,
but then
yeah.
double dasher.
Yeah.
He's either extremely skilled or the world records are extremely bad. That's the only thing I could.
It's a bit of both, probably. I think he will say that the records aren't maxed, but to 1,000 other people they are. So yeah.
Yeah. Now here's something else.
Game is-
Times when you get
The
first
game is just an
record.
MT fest, isn't it? It's just constant mini turbos all the
Yeah,
time.
A-Tech is, I think, what he's using now.
Yeah,
Which is essentially just drift and then boost and drift and boost and drift and boost.
like never-ending drift and boosting, isn't it?
Having said that, though, the ATAC has been discovered, like apparently back in 2005 or something. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
not like he's the only guy that uses it.
Yeah, sure.
So
It's just very
still
difficult,
pretty,
isn't it?
It's still pretty sick.
Yes.
That's our boy.
What's the next topic? Do you want to do the mall thing, Carol, or do we skip?
Yeah, sure. I got 2 pieces of SMK news left.
Yep.
First, I got a PM from Danger Mole, our big friend from the UK, 2 hours ago. And the message reads, "What do you think? Will Sami put off the update until he beats this? Can't have scrubs holding UK records." And then he links to a YouTube video of him beating the UK record on Choco Island PAL Flap, 10:55. And of course, the update is tomorrow, and Sami is known for reclaiming UK records right before the update if they ever get submitted, as Clark also has experienced in the past, I believe.
And not just Clark, by the way. There are other people that are in his line of fire, I would say. I still don't forgive him for beating my 1169 within an hour. That's just bullshit.
I wouldn't be surprised if he was actually holding on to that a little longer from before.
I'm sure he probably just picked it up and beat it, whatever. As far as I'm concerned, that's what happened. But I guess I kind of asked for it because I said, I think this is a beat on Sami, whoever that guy is. And then, shoves my foot straight down my throat. So, yeah.
Well, that's a big achievement for Dave Mull, though. I'm impressed.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Especially since the last time he spoke about Choco Island 1, he said he hated it on PAL. It's like, this is the most unplayable thing ever. I will never switch on my PAL console again. Blah, blah, blah. Now, apparently, he got the UK record, so...
Famous love.
Yeah, this
Congrats,
draft
Noel.
is it's way harder on PAL, I guess. I haven't tried it yet, but given the time to build the boost and how much speed you lose if you mess up, I guess it's like way harder to do on PAL than on NTSC.
Yeah, it's really unforgiving. Mud on Choco Islands on PAL is horrendous, isn't it? It's like so
The
sticky.
funny thing is, though, that the actual wall jump itself is easier on PAL for some reason.
And the
So it's
boost
raw.
lasts a bit longer, too, after you clear the wall. So,
So, not sure if I agree, but the building of the boost obviously is easier on NTSC. That's true.
Yeah. Well, I think I'm more impressed that because I don't know to people who don't really know SMK and like who's the best and whatnot, or just have a vague idea. Like to beat a time by Sami, you've got to be hitting pretty much a top 5, haven't you? In anything.
Yeah, that's true.
So for someone like Dave who isn't one of the mega top guys to pull off to manage to beat a time like that, really good.
Really good. Agreed.
Yeah.
Do you think Sami's gonna beat it back?
yes.
Honestly?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I'm sure he will. Yeah.
Okay, so it's it's unanimous then.
But the question was, will he do it before the update or not? I'm gonna.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, you're saying yes to that?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep, I say him.
Yeah.
He's doing it. He's working on it right now.
It's got a few hours left.
Oh yeah, but has he
We
submitted?
got a message saying that
He hasn't actually submitted it yet. That's true. So
Well,
two things might.
I'm sure
There's
Sami's
3
spider senses are just going
Yeah.
off. And he's Sami's just like sitting there, just watching TV, and he just goes do 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 do. Someone's just beaten one of my times, and he just turns on his SNES, starts playing. He probably hasn't even heard about it, but he knows something.
Yeah, Spidey senses take.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But
Yeah, I can see-
considering his time on NTSC, Sami's time, I mean, it shouldn't be like too hard for him to beat the 55 or at least tie it.
Yeah, that's true as well.
Very,
Yeah.
very strong.
What
I'm
does
not
he have on
looking at
NTSC?
I'm not looking at the current rankings, but what is Sami's current time?
10:59.
59, yeah.
Is that probably, that's
Ranked
probably the
nine.
old strat then too, right?
No, it's not.
Oh, it's not.
It's with the new stat. Yeah.
It's 21 away from the world record. On NTSC is 07 away from the world record, so
Okay.
Yeah.
there's a
So
big
there's
gap there for
plenty
him
of room.
to go for. Yeah.
And the NTSC one is more maxed than the PAL one. I have both, so I will be able to tell. Also,
Sick brags.
sorry. Also, it's ranked 7th most time, so that's really, really good.
Yeah, any
I'm
top
like
10 time is great.
It's a tie with Bet Malar.
Matt Ballard.
Oh, Matt Ballard. How has he got a time? How has he got a time up there? He hasn't got a PAL SNES, has he, or has he? I didn't
Yeah,
even
he
know
does.
that.
Yeah, he's got a full time sheet too.
Really?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
did not know that.
I think he's
So-
U.S. champion in PAL, right?
Yeah. The thing is, though, the cartel pretty much has a SNES that they share, a PAL SNES, so it's not always in his possession, but when it is, he gets good times.
Fair enough. Passing it around.
Yeah, but Eric Alden, I think, currently has it. I'm not sure, but yeah.
No, that's cool. I'll tell you someone else who also has a PAL SNES. Joe Bernier. And he doesn't play it right now.
Is that right?
Does he really?
I definitely do. I don't know where I got it from though. It just kind of showed up at my house one day. No, I definitely got it from Clark, and Clark gave it to me as a nice present when I was visiting him in 2007. I really should play it more, but man, PAL is just so hard. Why anybody like goes out of their way to play PAL is beyond.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't get it either, Joe. NTSC is like so much easier, so much faster.
We're doing this again?
Yes, we are.
We did this last week.
Is this
Defend NTSC.
Because I seem to recall that you also have a habit of copy of Super Black Pass, which you haven't played. So such an ungrateful person.
Well, to be fair though, I actually bought that copy of Super Black Bass at a local game store, so I didn't get it from Dan.
Okay.
You got yours from Dan, so you have no excuse for that.
Yeah, so it backfired, huh?
Well, I mean, I'm just gonna throw it back to you, right?
Yeah, well, fair enough.
Okay.
So I had one other piece of news from SMK, which is kind of juicy. Actually, learning of this news, I was reminded a little bit of the epic journey that Clark SNES went on a while ago. Michael Jongerius, the card prodigy, has made a return to SMK last week.
Wow.
What?
So I did see his name on the sign-up sheet for the CDM, and I talked with him a little bit about it, but never in a million years did I actually expect him to train for CDM.
Right.
Bear in mind, we're talking about a guy who hasn't PR'd in SMK since 2008. So, out of the blue, he texted me if I wanted to train some SMK. I mean, that's the Pope shit in the woods.
And how many world records did he already get? Is my question.
Well.
17 world records already.
Then the next evening after he apped me that he's actually playing time trials again. So I'm imagining his SNES must have taken a journey similar to one of Clark.
Yeah.
Like salvaged from the attic, covered under boxes, underneath layers of dust and stuff.
Blowing off the dust.
Anyway, he's playing NBT.
No way.
Oh, wow.
No way.
Yeah.
That's scary. That's
So
scary.
MJ never really got into MBT, and he actually explained me in the message yesterday that he could never get MBT to work consistently, and not knowing why actually discouraged him to the point that he stopped playing back then.
Yeah.
And of course, MBTs are actually really, really difficult to do. Recently discovered by the Japanese.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
In like
2004. It was only 14 years ago.
No, but seriously, Mike only had an MBT flap on MC1 before, and now managed after all these years finally to get a 5-lap PR done. Like he had his PR was still the 10083 non-MBT 5-lap.
Classic.
And the time that he hit, right, actually is the sub-minute on the dot, 59.99. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I saw that submission. It's like the perfect chrono.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I love MJ for one reason. Like he's got this whole MK64 thing, you know, and he's a legend in that. For me, I think you might know where I'm going with this, Carl. But he had
I think so. Yeah.
He had a world record non-MBT flap on Mario Circuit 3, which I stand by.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Just the most perfect run I've ever seen on any Mario Kart. It seemed to me to be frame perfect. I always called it Mario Kart porn.
It's so pretty. Yeah.
Porn,
Yeah,
absolutely. I was gonna say that actually. Yeah.
Just
Especially
I mean,
that little glide he does at the end. It's crazy.
Yeah,
The last corner?
It's that pipe jump at the end. Yeah.
The one
pipe
before
jump.
that.
Yeah, utterly perfect. Yeah, and I
Didn't,
think that one should be linked in our
Linkage.
whatever it is. Yeah.
Will be done. Yeah.
Didn't Carol and MJ do like a combined world record lap for a track?
Oh
at one point?
wow! I forgot this one.
Yeah, we did a bunch of those. We did a bunch of those
Like,
because
didn't you like hit start and then like switch controllers with each other and then finish the lap? Like you do one half and he do the last half. Or something like
yeah.
that.
So back in the day, he was a much more accomplished SMK non-MBT player, and he had the racing lines down more. And I just was a guy that could do boosts, and that he could not do. So on Donut Plains 2, there were parts that required boosting, and there were parts that required tight driving. So we decided to combine forces, like Eric Habrecht style, but for real in one record. And actually got a world record that way. Yeah, that was pretty cool. It was 1706 on DB2, which was a world record at the time, by over a tenth.
Jeez.
But
Yeah.
obviously not official or anything, but still kind of cool, yeah.
And there's also no video of it, right?
Oh no, not
No, actually, I think there might have been. I'm not sure.
Well, you had to hit start though, so there would be no replay.
True. And we weren't live recording back then, so yeah, you'd be right. Yeah.
you.
I remember watching one time as well. I'd come over to that. I'd come over with Matt McCarthy, hadn't I?
Yeah.
Over to Holland to see you guys play, and you and Gerard. I say Gerard. You always said you said it's pronounced differently. But Gerard
Yeah.
Rudhorst, you and him were doing that on KB2, weren't you? Like hopping through the weeds on KB2.
We also did it on Cool Beach too. That's true, but we didn't manage to get the world record. I think, or did we?
No.
Do
I
you-
can't remember you ever finishing much, but it was always interesting to see.
It's funny that you mentioned that, though. Do you remember the town where that was at?
Yes,
The name
I
of the
remember
town.
that. Yeah. The name of it. Oh,
Yeah.
Hang on. No, it begins with
It's-
A, doesn't it?
It's Ameide.
Almeida, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a little town between Rotterdam and Utrecht in the countryside next to the river. And as it happens, I went back there last Friday for the first time in 5 years to visit Rip for his birthday. So that was pretty cool.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
We actually discussed how Matt and you came down there one year.
Wow.
One of the
A long
LAN
time
parties.
ago.
Yeah, so it's kind of a coincidence that we're talking about it now.
just
So
remember-
anyway,
Sorry, one last thing about that tiny little town. I remember this is how it struck me that I was in Holland, really, apart from the no hills thing and everyone on bikes and whatnot. But we were standing there. I smoked then, and I was having a cigarette outside, just on the riverbank, and we're standing there with Matt, and just remember turning around and looking at the river, and this ginormous boat, like not just a little boat, like a massive oil fucking tanker going down this tiny canal. Standing there like, what on earth is going on? I thought this country's. But anyway, that always sticks out in my head.
yeah, there's plenty of stories to tell about that actually. But that's for later probably.
Yeah, another.
So
day.
to finish up on the little bit about MJ, he said he's actually really enjoying MBT for the first time, and it's like learning a whole new game, which I can agree with.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's no telling what to come from this. If you will seriously consider grinding, I'm very curious what kind of results you will get.
Good ones, I imagine.
Probably, yeah.
World records, I guess.
Well,
That's his thing, right? Getting world records.
So does Carol
Maybe.
feel threatened by his former, I guess, co-competitor?
and no, I will tell you why. Because he doesn't have that fire anymore, I think, to actually grind for long. But potentially, like his talent is sick. So if he if he would set the time apart for it, I would be threatened. But I don't think he will.
Right.
He has 2 kids now and everything, so I'd be surprised. But still, he will probably get a couple of very good times. Yeah,
Oh,
I hope so,
I
at
have
least.
2 children either.
Bringing back a little bit to Maul's PR, I just got an email of his submission, so I guess the race is on.
Cat's out.
We'll know soon. We'll know soon if the update's coming out tomorrow or on Thursday.
Good luck, Sami.
Who knows?
Yeah. So I'm frantically getting his sned out.
Oh, it's out. It's out.
Guys, I gave it 1 hour.
I'll give it about 3. 3 hours sounds easier. But I do actually think he will delay the update because I don't know about that, but I think he will beat it before the update.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah, exactly.
right,
The update
yeah.
is always on Monday now, so he will beat it before.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Actually, he posted it on the message board. I can't see Sami letting a scrub like me have one for long. I expect him to beat quickly before the update, since we aren't family.
Oh,
Classic Maul.
Yeah, that's some nice subtle jabbing there. All right, so should we move on?
That was a whole lot of SMK and old SMK lore and revival of a champion. Or actually, I have to tie this on as a knot at the end of the SMK segment. I think Michael Jongerius was SMK champion before an update at one point.
Yes, that's true.
So
Yeah.
he has never been officially number 1 because Sami beat his times before he did the update.
Yeah.
but time-wise, he was number one. It just never showed.
Basically, what he's going to do at Mall tonight, but
Yeah.
larger.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
On a larger scale.
All right, moving on. Should we hand it over to our guest? Normally, this would be the cue for everyone to shout his name, like we did back in the day. I will have to do. So, Guilherme, we are going to conduct a very on-the-spot interview, on-the-fly interview, rather.
Okay.
Just some questions that pops up, and we will let you introduce the. This is sort of breaking news, more so than Clark's Nest, perhaps. But yeah, we're gonna announce the Carthritis fucking hell that name Challenge Cup. God damn it! Someone kill me.
You'll get there one day, man.
Yeah.
We should call it KT.
So
Came up with the name.
yeah, that was my first mistake.
It cracks me up every time. I'm sorry.
Okay, so Guilherme, do you want to start us off for the Carthritis Challenge Cup?
Okay, so this Challenge Cup is something that we came up to try and bring more people into the competition and the podcast in general. So the idea is to have, I think it's going to be bi-weekly, right? We're not going to do it every week.
No, bi-weekly sounds fine, and we'll start off with that.
Okay, so we're going to do like small challenges involving not only SMK, which is our the
Home.
game we play the most, but we're gonna do different games, small challenges, and we're gonna set up a leaderboard. And I heard Sargoff is gonna give money to the winner. Is that right?
I think we're gonna do a gift card, but it's gonna be a substantial amount. I'm thinking approximately $100 or something for first place.
Yeah, that's great. That's awesome. So the idea is to have, as I said, bi-weekly challenges, and we are gonna set up a leaderboard on the Mario Kart message board, right?
Yep.
We'll update it every week, and as a starting point, we will have our first challenge. We're calling it the Primer. It's a Mario Circuit 1 challenge, which will be run blindfolded. Can you give us the exact details, Sargoff? I think you have it all written down, right?
All right, yeah. So this is a collaboration between our guest here and ourselves. So he came up with the concept, and then we fleshed it out. So it's gonna be Mario Circuit 1 on NTSC. It's going to be blindfolded. This is important. No fender strats here. No thin veils of any kind. Blind.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
No picking through the fingers.
Right. And it will be unaided. You will not have a person next to you telling you where to drive. And it will be only opener flap. So one lap.
I have one question.
Yeah.
Can I take part in it as a
Yes.
member of the actual show? Oh,
Yes.
I can.
Yeah. In fact, I implore all of the Carthritis team members to play the challenges. This first challenge will not give points for first, second, and third place. Instead, it will give 1 point to everyone who participates and manages less than 30 seconds as a time.
Okay,
Is it character specific, or are we gonna go anybody is fair game?
This time it's going to be a free pick for characters, yes.
Okay.
That might be different for the next challenge. We'll see what we come up with, but we're going to try to make it interesting, creative, and new. So it's not going to be Mario Raceway flap on MK64. Nothing like that. It will be something different, something new, something redefined, if you will.
What if you don't own said game that's part of the competition?
Well,
Like
if you
Mario Kart 64.
well, I guess we will allow other means of playing the games if you provide video.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
So
think I know what you're hinting at.
Yeah.
just for the record, what will be the proof requirements? Because you obviously have to prove that you're playing blindfolded, I suppose, or...
Well, that's why this is a primer, so it's just everyone gets a point for participating and beating a time set, like 30 seconds. So we will not be as adamant about the proof this time, but video, yeah. You don't have to film yourself playing and film because yeah, that's just too much. Just participate this time, be honest, that's good. All the other challenges will be video proof. Since there is an actual prize here, we have to take some steps and measurements to avoid cheating, to some extent at least.
Okay, so to sum it up, it's MC1, NTSC, blindfolded, first lap or opener,
opener.
Call it.
Yep.
Fast lap opener, right? And you have to get under 30 seconds to get 1 point on the leaderboards, right?
Yep.
Time
Alright,
trials.
so
Time trials.
yeah, time trials. Time trials. That's
Yeah.
important.
That is important.
If anything, I think many of the challenges will be time trial, no matter what game it is, because we don't want RNG to be a big part of this.
No.
And also the chronos are...
Shout outs to Orange Jesus.
Yeah. Our Lord and Savior. And
He
demise.
died for us, then.
All right. Thanks for coming up with the challenge, Guilherme. And I'm actually eager to get going on this. I have little faith in this being easy for me, but it's going to happen.
Yeah,
I already tried a little bit. It's kind of difficult in the beginning because obviously you can't see, but there are some sound cues that can help you keep on track or know exactly where you are hitting the walls, because there's going to be a lot of wall hitting in this one.
Yeah. So sound cues, basically, obviously.
Yeah.
Unless you use advanced handkerchief strats, but we are not allowing those.
Unless you're Sammy and you like have the track memorized.
Yeah, well. Actually,
I'd imagine Sami being very good at this, actually.
it is.
Probably. He's got an advantage.
Sure.
Surely.
Do you think he's going to participate?
He might. It's MC1.
It is MC1. Yeah.
And there's a cash prize too.
Right, but not for this challenge. That's for the combined...
Oh, okay.
Let's call it leaderboard season. So we do like 5 challenges and then award prizes for first place. And
Okay, I see. Okay.
something for second and third. Anyway, we forgot one important thing about this. And that is you race a time, you get a time. Let's say you get 23:15 is your best blindfolded MC1 run. And you also get a point for guessing the winning time, the fastest time of all the participants. So I'm shit. I'm gonna get a 23:15 whatever, and I'm thinking Sami is not shit. He's gonna get some sort of crazy 13:87 because he manages to pipe boost and NBT at the last corner, whatever. Something.
Flat boosting.
So the guy who comes closest to guessing the winning time also gets 3 points, just the same as the guy with the winning time gets 3 points from the next round on. This round is 1 point no matter what.
I have a question about that.
Yeah.
Before guessing the time, can I know whether Federer entered or not?
It's a good question. that changes the game dramatically.
It does change the game, because then I'm just gonna have to look at his PRs and then. Yeah, no, you will not know who's participating, because people will probably keep quiet about their records and participation as to not make the guessing easier for others.
Yeah, true.
So yeah.
By the way, should we get the time submitted via PM on the message board? Because if we post them on a topic, people will know what the fastest time is.
Oh yeah, so exactly. It's going to be PM to any of the Carthritis members, but feel free to bother me, or the Carthritis Gmail, which is carthritis@gmail.com.
Can I just say something there too? I think the deadline for guessing ends before the deadline of the actual challenge.
Yes, 1 hour before.
1 hour?
Oh, okay.
That was my initial idea. You have a better idea?
1 day?
That works.
Maybe.
That works.
Week.
One week is kind of good because then we can address it at the next show.
Also fine, yeah. Even better.
All right, so this just in. Uh, the guest, the time you guess has to be submitted 1 week before the actual time submission for the challenges. But this will all be hashed out and rephrased, perhaps more efficiently in the message board topic. So look out for that.
And
So
we'll
I
link
guess
the
one way
the
to-
topic in the YouTube video or something.
Sure. And let's just put this out there that we're gonna make challenges in multiple games, like I don't know, Double Dash, Mario Kart Wii, GoldenEye, Zelda games, Episode 1 Racer. There's no real limitation on this, but starting with MC1, SMK, it's kind of poetic, isn't it?
Yeah.
And, in the vein of Fenner, we have a blindfolded run just to top it off.
One player battle mode. Can we do that at one point, please?
Yeah, let me have a think.
Joke, but actually that might be kind of fun.
True.
There could be a challenge there.
Sure.
Yeah.
Fastest guy to
Agree.
beat Yoshi or something.
Let's
Yeah,
get
do like
Fenders in.
Do like an RTA attempt. Yeah.
Yeah.
We shouldn't spoil all the challenges in episode 1 though. We should probably back.
Oh yeah, it's just about. I don't want people to think this is going to be an N thing with just SMK or time trial and of that sort. And yeah, got to get some newer games in there as well. But I'm not. Yeah, not going to spoil. I'm going to try to shut up now, and then let's see if we have some questions for our guest. I have one to start us off, and it is not a good one. So Guilherme, I've had an idea that I want to try Mario Kart Super Circuit, and it's been brought to my attention that you dabble.
I was good at it at some point, especially on the Mario tracks. I held some world records, but never got used to the newer tracks, to be honest.
Well, that's slightly beyond dabbling. That's very good. So my question is just what is the best way of playing that game? Because I know there are different peripherals, consoles, or whatever here.
I played it on a Nintendo DS with a modified D-pad. I like to play it on DS because of the screen lighting is a little better.
Yeah.
If you play it on older, like on a GBA, like I used, it's not very easy to, basically it's not easy to see things on screen.
Oh.
So, and the best way to approach the game, to be honest, is like Super Mario Kart on steroids. It's like playing GP 150cc with 3 mushrooms. It's a very fast game, and everything you are doing there, either empties or shrooms, have to be like, it's a lot of quick decisions. So it's basically SMK on steroids.
That sounds daunting.
With a little bit of MK64 physics built in too. But not
Yeah,
much.
yeah, I guess.
The turning angles I've always found really strange on ASC.
And there's one very irritating thing about the at some places to get like top tier times you have to brake, and I hate braking on racing games because to me you have to go as fast as possible, but
Gotta go
sometimes
fast.
that's the fastest way. It's kind of counterintuitive, but you have to do it sometimes.
I hate having to
Dreaded
break
brake button.
Yeah, the dreaded brake button. I feel you, man. I do not touch that one. I will on occasion gas release, but that is it.
That's as far
I
as
don't
it
even
will
know
go.
I don't even know what the brake button is on SMK. I couldn't even tell you.
It's start.
It's the green one.
Start, right?
It's the green one.
Yeah.
It's funny because for me and Joey,
We don't have green buttons on ours.
Yeah, I use it.
The funny thing is, actually, this is honestly got through. Lafango's pet only has green buttons.
oh,
My one only has yellow buttons.
that's why his times are slow because he's always.
Yep.
Can I just
the application.
can I just shout myself out ever so briefly that I was doing NTSC MC1 recently, and it was brought to my attention that you should brake at the zoom start to get a better first corner.
That's actually true.
Yeah, and I refused to do so. So I found a new strat where you just found a new strat is very Fennerish of me to say, but I I did something I didn't know about, which is not the same as discovering or inventing. But gas release made just as good of a first corner as braking, I think.
Right.
Could be true.
Speaking of new strats, right? Can I completely just go off on a bit of a tangent here? It's still SNK related.
Yeah, it's just Guillermo's interview, so yeah, sure, Clark.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I'm sure he's cool with this. Right. So basically, I don't know. Are you guys aware of the Clark shell?
Yes.
I
Yes,
may
I am.
not be.
No, I'm also not familiar.
Right.
It's
Okay.
on
So
M2.
yeah, MC2. That's it, right? So when you're playing GP, if you have a green shell and you drive straight at the jump, and if you fire it just at the right moment, it goes through the jump, but not over the second wall. So it turns into a fenner, like on match race.
Gee.
Ah,
Green Fanner?
Yeah. So it's like a green shell fenner essentially. And I always talk with Ben Allen, BPA, just how amazing it would be, like if that was, I don't know, it's sort of tied 4-4 in the final in the GP at the CDM or something, and someone busts out a Clark shell, and it's this decisive thing. But I
It
just
would
want
be
to use
totally
this.
sick.
Yeah, I just want to use this platform as a means to say, like, to actually define that move as a Clark shell. So if anyone ever does that, fires a green shell through the jump on MC2.
I have a
It's
little
called a
comment
Clark.
about it. I think if you try that, you're more likely to do a shelfie than a Clark shell.
I was worried about the same thing. Yeah.
But yeah, it can. It's a sick move. It's a sick move. It should be employed more. I just don't think the top guys have tried to use it yet.
So how sensitive is the timing, actually?
It's not too bad. I wouldn't imagine it's any different to sort of getting the right. So it's like on KB1 on time trial zoom start. That sort of frame.
That's
per-
very lenient then.
Yeah, it's not too bad. Like, I hit it most times. I do it. It's sort of
Okay.
just as you hit the bumpers, you drop it there.
Interesting.
Yeah, you should try it. Give it a go.
but you have
I'll try today.
you will have to forego the optimal last corner then, right?
Yeah, but I mean, if
It's
someone,
worth it, yeah,
yeah, it's worth it though. If you can catch someone out.
for a Clark shell / shelfie.
Yeah.
Clark
Well,
Shelfie.
I don't think there's much risk of getting a shelfie, and loads of risk of looking awesome doing a Clark.
Yeah, all right.
Big chance.
I'm sure
Anyway.
everyone will keep it in mind at this year's championship.
I actually will.
Oh, well, there you go. If Carol's doing it. Just throwing that out there. All right, so I have a question for Mr. Gast.
Brilliant.
Bring it on.
If you're at the CDM and you were in the final of the GP, would you use a Clark shell?
Well, I will try to. I'd probably get a shelfie, but... And if I got it, I would just stand up and shout, Clark shell! Something like that.
As one should.
Gotta give it credit, You gotta give credit.
No, thank you.
Shells fired.
Nice. Yeah.
All right. Well, I have somewhat of a question. So, Guillermo, you're friends with Oliver Segura Gonzalez. Is that correct?
Yeah.
So, how good is his Ghost Valley 1 5-lap NTSC record?
Haven't played it a lot. I'd say it's a very strong world record. It's not unbeatable, but every time I get back to the game, the first thing I do is play GV1 because it's one of my favorite tracks. And every time I play GV1 and I'm getting like good splits, I check his world record and I get totally discouraged because it's a very strong world record. I
Yeah,
guess,
his middle
Carol
laps are
can-
insane.
Yeah, I think there's a 79 middle lap or something like that.
Yeah,
which is
and that's
absurd.
foregoing the start finish boost, and that's just crazy fast.
Yeah. That world record in particular is one I think will last a little bit.
Yeah, and like to put in perspective a little bit, and not to steal the thunder here a little bit, but Yeah, if you're going up against it and you're looking at the splits, whatever, like half of those laps are world record caliber. Like it's like for fast laps, and he's doing that in a 5-lap world record run. So it's absolutely dominant. And yeah, I've always looked up to that record as being one of the strongest. It's not unbeatable, like you said, but it's still unbelievably good.
Just to compliment his pace there reminds me a lot when Chris Bouch, remember the Canadian guy?
Oh yeah.
When he used to play, and he would
Former champion.
Yeah, he would get like 5-lap PRs and fast lap PRs on the same race.
Yeah.
Oliver's GV1 reminds me a lot of that. Some of those middle laps, if you add an extra boost, which obviously you can't on the 5-lap strat,
Right.
but if you had that chance to add an extra boost, they would be like great contenders for fast lap records.
Agreed.
Yeah, so actually, Aaron, when he was playing NTSC SMK, got the Dutch record on this track. I believe he got 59.31, and he did add an extra boost. And he felt that like he could beat the world record if he actually maximized his effort or optimized his effort. So he started building a boost on the platform jump and releasing it after the platform jump corner. So he forewent part of the air that you can get on the left corner. But according to him, it was as fast or maybe even faster than doing it the regular way. I tried it too. I couldn't get it to work, but he got a Dutch record with it. So
do you think that it actually saves time though?
I never got it to save time, but he got a Dutch record with it. It's 59.31. So, and he felt like he could beat the world record. So I don't know, maybe
34 actually, but yeah, your point stands.
Yeah, I think the record is 59.22.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's 1200s.
Yeah, I mean he's in the ballpark, but I think if you go for just a regular finish to the lap and just kind of skip the boost, it might be almost the same. But I don't know how much you'd save.
I feel the same way, honestly. But well, what can I say?
Much, right? 0.4 at best, maybe not even.
Oh, I think if it saves
even.
anything, it's probably 0.01 if it saves anything. But yeah,
because you're basically going around where you would be cornering. You're chopping off that last portion of the track right before the finish line, and then you have to kind of, I don't know, is he building it and then going around and not jumping at all, or is he still jumping?
I think he's still jumping sometimes, but not always.
But not that he's not cutting it very close.
Well, no, of course not. No.
Yeah, because he's got to build the boost. Yeah, okay.
He doesn't have much time to build the boost either, right?
No, that's very short.
Yeah.
Exactly. And honestly, when I went for that strat, I couldn't get close to my PR. But the fact that Aaron got 59.34 with it suggests that it's actually possible to do at least better than what I was doing. So I don't know. Just throwing it out there. Maybe one day he will actually get the world record with it. Probably not, but who knows.
Once he finds his controller.
Yeah. That's
always that
in France. Yeah.
crushing issue, yes. I also have a question for Guilherme. More of a cliche one, perhaps, but when did you first start? When did you first find the site and start playing SMK? And when was the first time you actually started getting world records or getting good?
Well,
you remember?
The first time I read about the website, I was actually searching the internet for Zelda glitches, and I stumbled upon David Wong's name, right? So I saw there was Super Mario Kart rankings, and I was like, what the hell is going on? And then I entered the players page, and there was this guy named, he was previously mentioned, Oliver Segarra Gonzalez, tagged as a Brazilian on the website, and it was right after he got his first 2 world records. So I was like, whoa, this guy is good. He's not a pushover. And I started talking to him and Carlos time, and I think as everyone who starts playing Super Mario Kart, I thought the times on the website were bullshit, because I mean, how can people be that faster than me? I'm good at this game. I can't be like 3 seconds slower than these guys. So after some education, I'd say, after Oliver taught me some things about the game, and then a little bit later Alan Carr, I started practicing And at a given time, my university went on a strike, so I had like 3 months without classes. And
Did
all I
you all
had
go
to
to
do
university
was
in France?
Brazilian public universities are well known for having 3 to 4 month strikes like every other year. But anyway, I had a lot of time in my hands and I started playing a lot, a lot, a lot. I remember I joined the website at around 100, the 100th position or something like that. And after, yes, less than 2 months, I was fighting for a top 15 spot or something like that. My rise was very fast because I obviously had a lot of time in my hands. So, but the first world record I got was Choco Island 1. I think I dethroned Joe there. Sorry, Joe.
I think you're right because I think I had like 50, I don't know, 58 seconds.
No,
or
the
something like
record,
that.
if my memory doesn't fail me, you had 12:45, and
Oh,
I
the lap.
drove 12:45 and then 12:2. But don't quote me on that.
Yeah, this is ancient history to most people.
Yeah, probably 2005 or something.
Yeah, that's probably
So
right.
that's how I got it in the game. It was like I was searching for Zelda glitches. I stumbled upon David Wan's name, then the website, then Oliver, and the rest is history.
I kind of
So a
want to piggyback
oh.
off of that really quick. I'm sorry, Carol, but I remember when I first joined the site as well. I couldn't believe the times either, and I struggled to believe if my times were PAL or NTSC, because mine were considerably slower than the NTSC world records. So I'm like, oh well, I'm good. So why am I 2 seconds late? Oh, because I'm PAL probably. That makes sense.
Yeah. I had the same feeling.
Yeah.
I think it's something all karters go through, isn't it? Especially like the SNK ones, because
It's the rite of passage for sure.
you're all joining and think I'm really, really good, and then then you see everyone playing, you're like, okay, I'm really bad. No,
I remember questioning Oliver about that. I said, my times can't be NTSC, man. I'm not that slow. And he said, okay, so you will start Mario Circuit 1, you'll do a quick start, and you will hold left. If your cart goes through the sand, you are playing Paul. If it doesn't, you are playing NTSC. And then that was when I found out that, okay, I'm just bad at this game. Because that's a very, very easy way to find out if you're playing TSC or Paul.
Very
If
true.
you get
Very
a zoom
true.
start, depending on the system, if you're holding left, you either go through the dirt, the sand, or you'll just like cut the corner very sharp. On Paul, you will run through the sand, and on NTSC, you'll do like a sharp turn. So that's a quick way to find out if you're just bad or if you're playing the wrong system.
I had another question. You have driven quite a few world records through the years, and a few of them have been very long-standing. I vividly remember your vanilla like 1.5 lap, 48.23 being the first to beat Jamie's long-standing one. And one of the longest-standing world records in SMK history is your vanilla like 1 flap, 9.26. So I would like to know a little background about that, if possible. Would be interesting, I think.
The 5 lap world record, it was interesting because the previous world record was a non-NBT, and I've always been proud of my NBT skills because I basically every single space I had to add an NBT, I would do so. So I decided, okay, this track is the world record stands without NBTs. I gotta do it differently, and I started adding the NBTs to, I think, two of the corners. And it's funny because in the session I got the world record, I was playing for like 8 to 10 hours, and I was tired, and I had a big test the next day. And I kept playing and playing, and my mom comes in the room and she says, I told her, I'm just gonna stop when I get the world record. And she said, okay, so you're never gonna stop. And I stared at her and I said, okay. Now you're more. 15 minutes later, I got the world record, which at the time was 60 hundredths cut, but if you look back, considering I added like 10 NBTs to the track, and the NBTs give you a way better racing line, it was
Yeah.
not a strong world record, but it was the first 10 out of 10 NBT world, I guess, 5-lap driven on that track. So it's historic in some way.
I remember back in the 2009 CDM, you tried PAL for the first time there, I think it was, and you played VL1, and within about 10 minutes you tied the world record on the flat there, I think.
To be honest, it wasn't like the first time, because I was staying at Mario's place for like a week, so I had 1 week practice. And I got the world record tie on VL1 fast lap. I think it was 0967 or
That rings a bell, yeah.
Something like that.
61.
Yeah, but 61 was it?
Yeah, and you were the first and probably still the only NTSC native to drive a PAL world record, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it's a tie though. I'm
Still
not like the GoldenEye guys. I don't like ties.
Yeah.
But anyway, the fast lap there, like it's grinding. It's grinding and grinding and grinding because it's a very detail heavy run, and every time you want to try a fast lap, you have to break the block. So it's annoying to say the least.
Got any more questions?
No, think that wraps it up. Okay, Clark's gone. Okay.
Well, no, I just one very quick one. When do you think you're going to make it back to Europe again and compete in the CDM?
I'm not sure, man. Maybe in like 1 or 2 years, I'll be able to.
Well, I look forward to it.
The thing is, I'm married now, and like I don't know if we'll have children anytime soon. If that happens, that's like a wrench in the wheels. But I don't know. Maybe in a couple of years it will happen.
I'm gonna remember that you calling your potential child a wrench in the wheels.
I'll call him Wrench.
Yeah,
Wrench
good.
Atlantis.
Yeah, perfect.
When can we expect Wrench? When can we expect Wrench to have a player's page on Minecraft?
I give him around 10 to 12 years.
Anyway, on that note, then.
Yeah.
I hope.
I've got a few more.
Listen.
Yeah, I got another question too. Yeah.
Okay.
Now you go first, Sar.
All right. I just want to hear where you are on SMK these days and or other games. Do you play anything?
Actually, I play a lot of different games, but I'm mostly bad at them. I play a lot of Dota and Counter-Strike, a little bit of Witcher I've been playing for some time, some card games that I never quit, like Magic. But on SMK, I played a little bit at the beginning of the year, and then I kind of got sick of it really fast. And as Clark said, like 20 minutes playing, I feel like my nail is coming off of my thumb.
And then it's time to retire.
So, but every time I get back to the game, it seems to me that I'm getting faster at getting to my previous level, you know? Because the first few times that I quit, and there have been some countless times that I quit, every time I get back, in the past I felt like I was too slow, I couldn't adapt to the new strats, but today, like I was playing like for 2 hours yesterday after a 4-month hiatus, and I felt like I was hitting potentially good laps on Ghost Valley 1. So it's weird because it shouldn't be that way, but I feel like I'm adapting faster to the new strats and to getting back to the game than I was before.
Have you made any progress on the lap? I'm sorry.
I'm just gonna say that he did get a lot of practice at retiring because you have retired so many times in the
I'm
past.
the world champion of retirement.
Absolutely. Go ahead, Joe.
Oh, I was gonna say, have you gotten any good laps?
On GV1, I got a crash that was a very topic yesterday because I said it was a very strong lap and was potentially a 65, and Carl and Scoob told me it was a crappy lap. But
No, I didn't say it was crappy.
okay, let me exaggerate a little bit. But after comparing it, the video to Oliver's 68, it was probably a 68 or a 67. It was somewhere in that range.
Which, to be honest, is
Not,
faster than I thought it would be. So yeah,
yeah, it's.
I think
It's
Scoop
not,
Scoop guessed 71 or something, and I guessed 69. So
I knew it wasn't a 71 because I don't know if I sent you, but I drove a very bad 72 the day or 15 minutes before. I don't remember exactly. So I knew it was faster than 70x. But yeah,
have you
I'm
ever done a
getting
bad
closer.
72, Joe?
Yes, I actually have, and I was gonna say the chrono kind of makes me angry because I can never predict because I think I have a bad lap and I finish it. I go, that was 72, Jesus, and then sometimes I'll get a 74 or 75 that I think is great, and yeah, obviously the chrono sucks. So yeah, I know how that goes.
So yeah, I'm not there yet, but I think with a little more I can try in PR there, which is obviously already a big thing. If I get a 67 or 66, but the dream is to get the 65.
There's a $100 bounty if you do,
Yep.
for the record.
Oh, is there?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that.
What,
Maybe I'll push it higher.
was that me again?
No, that was me. The $100 you invested, between quote marks, is buying Joe booze in Europe.
If.
And when he gets
If yeah,
If.
It's a fair
the
cause.
giant if attached to that.
A little bit.
But those are my $100 at stake if you beat it or
Right.
tie it. I mean,
It's because
Okay,
Carol doesn't want
I'll
to
push it
have to
higher.
do it himself. That's for sure.
Yeah,
I know it's
that's
gonna be
my guess.
painful.
It's a
I
very
may not have mentioned this, but I've already tried it maybe like 8 times in different years and never gotten below 1170 again. So it's going to be super, super hard to do it.
yeah that there are a lot of details that you need to pay attention to on that track, especially the last corner, not the corner before the jump and the corner before that one, because sometimes it looks like you were on a very nice trajectory, but all you had to do is go as close to the end of the corner as you can. Sometimes you don't even enter the corner sharp, but if you leave the corner as close as possible, that's where I find to save the most time. So not sure if I was clear enough, but that's what I'm aiming for.
Maybe one last one.
Yeah.
You went to one World Championships, if I remember correctly, or two?
I went
Two,
to
right?
two CDMs.
Two. Sorry, yeah. So
2009, 2015.
right, it's a bit easy in my head. All the CDMs merged together. So you went to two. So what were they like? This can you briefly describe what you experienced there? I think it would be something cool to talk about from your perspective.
In terms of karting alone, SMK, the first one better because I was in a very good level. I was top. I was second on the NTSC charts at the time, so I was very excited. I thought I had a lot to give, but when the day came and I had to play Paul and I wasn't used to him, and I had a couple of bad luck moments, it wasn't that good. I made it to the top 16, I think, and then I had time to play the other days, the other modes. So from an SMK perspective, it was better because I got to play all the modes and I was on a better place rankings wise. But and it was enjoyable, like to meet all the people and get to know everyone. I got to meet MJ which I hadn't had the chance the next time. But it was more of a card perspective from my side than the person perspective, if that makes any sense. And then in 2015, it was all about getting to meet people and getting to know some new guys. Like I had the chance to meet Joey and I had the chance to meet Dan. So the second time around, it was all about personal experience. It had nothing to do with card. And funnily enough, I made it to the top 8 on time trial. So sometimes when you quotation marks here, when you care less, you go farther, you know.
I guess it can boil down to that famous quote from Joe, right? I came for the game, but I stayed for the people.
Yeah, I guess.
I believe
I was
it.
thinking about that very quote, actually, Clark.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Poetry.
The game is very frustrating, and it adds up. It gets more and more frustrating as you try. And people, sometimes they are frustrating, you know. They are not that bad, to be honest. Some very nice friends in the community.
Oh,
I
for
enjoyed
sure, man.
meeting all of them. Too bad you couldn't come on 2015, Clark.
No, that was a shame. That was the one I couldn't do, I think. 2015.
The guys I missed the most, to be honest, that year were you and Ben. And
Yeah,
Sean
well,
also,
Ben-
but Sean's been away for some time.
Yeah, I keep trying to convince Ben to come every time I see him because we meet up loads because you know we don't live that far from each other, good friends. But I was trying to convince him, and I told him this one's in Holland, and that sort of piqued his interest. But I don't think he's ever going to come again, to be honest. I think you'd have to come to the UK to meet him again. But yeah, it's a shame, definitely a shame.
Yeah, those were also Manuel Babiar,
Oh, Manuel,
I'm
yeah,
around.
good lad.
and was a very nice person. And too bad he couldn't come back later years.
He brought the nicest beer to DM, if you remember.
Yeah, he's
The
always
brew
known for
from-
his beer.
Wow, that was probably the best wheat beer I ever had in my life.
Exactly. It was really good.
So anything else you guys want to ask me? I'm all ears.
I don't really have much else.
No.
Anybody else?
Unless there is anything you want to add yourself.
Nah, I think I've covered up like what's interesting about my trajectory. The rest is bullshit.
Right. Any shoutouts?
Summoning
shout out
Salt?
to BPA.
Shoutouts to BPA, not Summoning Salt. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll save that for next week.
All right. Yeah, take a break from the circle jerk for once. All right, so then I will want to thank you so much for coming on, Guilherme, and making the first challenge for us.
Thank you so much for having me. I hope I can come back sometime.
Yeah, and we'll see you at the next CDM, right? Or whenever Joe gets his finger out of his ass and makes the CDM of US.
Ah,
Well,
like how it's all
that
on me
depends
now.
if Rain Charantis will be born or not.
Yeah, Rengerontis.
Oh.
Well, on that note, I suppose we should probably get winding down here.
Yeah, well, there is one very brief topic if Clark hasn't left.
Yeah, well, I'm still here, and I don't think it's that important, really.
Yeah, well, it didn't come home.
No.
No, it didn't come home. Came so close, but oh well. I've moved on.
Have you?
Will
Sort
it
of.
ever come home?
I don't think it will.
Nah, it's not looking up.
I'm feeling like crying now.
Oh, jeez.
Sorry.
Might never come back. No. I'm joking. It was fun. It was fun while it lasted.
Yeah.
And the whole country got taken on a wild ride, and we all got carried away. And it didn't happen, but oh well. It was fun. It was great fun.
Right. And I guess
Congrats to France.
congrats to France. Scoob, you're listening, right?
Yeah.
And good showing to Croatia and Belgium, except the final was a bit of a clusterfuck, is the best word.
Well, it was a great final. Great final from a neutral point of view.
Entertaining.
I can't imagine Zoran was having much fun watching that.
It had a little bit of everything.
Yeah, it had stuff. Indeed.
It had stuff. And they did stuff, and it was good fun.
All right.
But France won it, so who cares?
That's cool.
Aren't you guys the closest to friends though? England and France. I thought
Friends?
best buddies. Yeah. You guys, you guys go out for beers together.
Well, I think begrudgingly, maybe.
Do you guys remember in 2008 or something when I was in London and there was a championship final, the Euro Cup?
Yeah.
And
No, it was 2006
2006?
World Cup final.
That was a World
France,
Cup.
Italy.
Yeah, and I think Open Zideur, Harold himself, took off his normal sweater or whatever and had a France t-shirt underneath in a British pub, English pub.
Mm-hmm.
That did not go down well.
That was frowned upon.
It was frowned upon, and then some. But yeah, he took the necessary adaptations at the moment.
Man's got balls at least.
Yeah, well, it was entertaining.
Yeah.
Anyway, so best of luck 2022, Clark. It's coming home to someone, at least.
Yeah, we're coming home then. Again,
Start the hype now, by the way. 4 years in advance.
Joe just loves hearing it.
It's my favorite phrase.
Doesn't Qatar get a direct invite to World Cup?
I'm sorry, what?
Because they are the hosts.
Oh,
Don't they get a direct
yeah,
invite?
that's true.
Okay, that's gonna be interesting.
They're going to get smashed.
Yes.
They're probably gonna get some Brazilians to play for them, right?
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking. They'll get someone to naturalise over there, right? They'll have like Mbappe playing for them, maybe. They'll just pay him to
They have the money to do so.
Yeah.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Qatar? I don't think so.
Yeah. That whole Qatar World Cup, we could talk for an hour and a half about that.
Yeah, I honestly thought it was an airline and not a. I had no idea.
Oh, fair enough.
Oh well. I pride myself on knowing a lot about worldly things, but Qatar, not a damn clue.
Yeah. You don't really want to know much about them anyway. Questionable human rights records and all sorts. So.
I have one question for the entire group.
Yeah.
Have we concluded our ramblings for the week?
Yes.
I can go on for hours, but yeah, I think we should probably.
Yeah, we're done.
Very long rambling.
All
I
right.
gotta edit this thing after all, so the less the better.
Don't you mean we?
Yeah, I do.
Yes. Okay. Well, good luck to we on editing that stuff. And,
Yeah, we'll try to get that done as soon as possible.
yeah. Well, thank you guys for coming on the show again, and yeah, see you next time.
No worries, see you later.
See ya.
Toodles.
Bye.